Hello, sports fans. We are ready for NFL picks for week number 6 in the league where they play. I said in the league where they play. In the league where they play. I said in the league where they play. In the league where they play. For pay! And let's get right to it. Sorry for the delay this week. I've been really under the weather. Bear with me. You know, this time of the year, I have my sicknesses. I get my colds and all that kind of stuff. All stuffed up, but ready to go for week number 6 in the NFL. And let's get right to it. 2 teams with a bye this week. The Detroit Lions with a bye. They beat Green Bay. They're up to 2-3, so Detroit playing a little better football. And New Orleans, they're up to 4-1. They've won 4 in a row. They bombed Washington on Monday Night Football, all the Drew Brees stuff. So New Orleans playing some really good football as well. All right, let's get to the Thursday night game. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey, not too far from here, with the Philadelphia Eagles are -3 against the New York Giants. First of all, it's going to be a monsoon here in New York because of the hurricane coming up from Florida across the Carolinas, and we wish everyone well down there. There is a lot of rain today in the New York area. Heavy rain, heavy wind, a lot of that stuff going on. So it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be messy tonight in the Meadowlands. Giants 1-4, lost a heartbreaker to Carolina. Carolina bombs a field goal at the end. I was ready to kill the Carolina coach for his terrible clock management at the end of the game, but he was bailed out by the big field goal. So the Giants, a tough loss there. They're down to 1-4. Philadelphia, what's going on? Super Bowl hangover. 2-3, lost to Minnesota. Philadelphia has not shown any propensity to put up points on the board this year at all. Now Ajayi is out. Philadelphia really struggling offensively in a lot of these games. I mean, they have just not fired on all cylinders at all, Philadelphia. Wentz has taken a lot of hits. They just look like they're in a quagmire. They have like a Super Bowl hangover. And the 2 games they won against the Falcons and the Colts, those 2 teams were knocking on the door late. Philadelphia could have lost both of those games, so they have not played well at all, Philadelphia. Yet they're still favored on the road because the Giants have played even worse. Listen, this is a division game. These games are usually close. It's going to be messy weather. The Eagles have not shown me anything offensively at all this year. They're not playing great football. They haven't blown anyone out. They've barely hung on to win the 2 games they did win. So I am going to move the line to 9 and take the Giants. You know I love those 2-team teasers getting 6 points. You get the home team. You get 9 points in this bad weather. The Eagles, like I said, Super Bowl hangover, they haven't showed you much at all. I mean, they haven't blown anybody out. So to me, I feel very comfortable with the Giants, 9 points home in the bad weather to at least keep it close. The game could go either way. You know how these games are with these 2 teams. A lot of wacky things happen. I have to go with the Giants there in a 2-team teaser, +9. That is pick number 1. Pick number 2. Let's go to Minnesota with Minnesota Vikings on -10 against the Arizona Cardinals. Minnesota up to 2-1, beat Philadelphia. Very important win for the Vikings. They had not played well since week 1. They had struggled. They lost to Buffalo at home. Very important win for Minnesota. Nice win by Minnesota. Cousins played well. Keeps Minnesota alive for a lot of things. If they would have lost that game, you're sitting there going, wow, Minnesota's going the wrong way. This was a very important win for the Vikings to stabilize things. Arizona got their first win. They were up to 1-4. Beat San Francisco in an ugly, messy game out in Santa Clara. Listen, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Now, the Vikings lost at home a few weeks ago to Buffalo. Everyone lost their knockout pool because of that. I don't think that's going to happen again. As a matter of fact, I guarantee it won't happen again. No matter what, the Vikings will win this game. So how do you play the game? I know the game's 10. I think the Vikings are going to bomb Arizona here. So I think they cover the 10. You want to play them in a money line, although it'll be steep. You know me, I'll move the line to 4 in a 2-team teaser. I'll feel great that way, only giving up 4. I think Minnesota is going to swarm all over Arizona. They're going to remember what happened in the Buffalo game. That will not happen again at home. Coming off a nice win, Vikings, I think, will start to go in the other direction now. We know they have a good team. I think they bury Arizona here. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3. Let's go to the dog pound in Cleveland, as my voice is starting to go already, where the L.A. Chargers are -1.5 against the Cleveland Browns. The L.A. Chargers up to 3-2, beat up Oakland in the StubHub Center. Of course, it was all Raider fans, but the Chargers still won the game. Cleveland, how about them this year? Up to 2-1, beat Baltimore in a very nice defensive battle. Really nice job by the Browns. They are battling. They are really improved this year, Cleveland. Listen, I don't think they're going to win any Super Bowls this year. Much improved this year, the Browns. I like the direction they're going. Very strange game, because you know the Chargers, they're a very bizarro team. Have a lot of talent, very bizarre. Cleveland's playing a lot better. I'm going to move the line to 7.5. 2-team teaser. Take Cleveland in the 2-team teaser. You get the Browns, you get the home field, and 7.5. A lot of spreads this week. I think most of the spreads, maybe like just about all of them with the exception of 3, like 3 points or less. So these games, if you're picking against the spread, could go either way. To me, the way to go is move these lines in the teaser. I always say that. The NFL is so hard, up against that spread. You look at some of these games could go either way. You don't even know who's going to win. So to me, when you can move that line, get Cleveland 7.5, get the home field in a game that could go either way, I like Cleveland that way. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4. Let's go down to South Florida, Miami, with the Chicago Bears and their ferocious defense. A -3 against the Miami Dolphins. Bears 3-1 off a bye. Bears are a hair away from being 4-0. Much improved. The defense flying around. Really like what I see from Chicago. The Miami Dolphins have lost 2 in a row. They are down to 3-2. Lost to Cincinnati. Had a 17-0 lead and blew the game and got outscored 27-0 down the stretch. And what was Tannehill doing with Miami up 17-10, throwing that weak pass that Cincinnati ran back for a touchdown? Oh, here's Cincinnati. Go run it back for a touchdown, tie the game. That was a soft, weak play by Tannehill, and the Dolphins fell apart at the end, and they fall to 3-2. Again, I keep saying this. I've been saying it for weeks, if not years. This game is another one of these games that could go either way. Move the line to 9 in a 2-team teaser. You now have the Dolphins at home with 9 points in a game that could go either way. That's the way I would play this game if you have to play this game. If you're going to play this game straight up, very difficult game. Could go either way. I mean, I know that the Bears and that ferocious defense are good, but Miami's home. They've been good at home this year. Very tough game. To me, move that line to 9, grab Miami in the home field. Game should be close. That's the way I play pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go down to Washington, D.C., where Washington is -1 against the Carolina Panthers. Washington down to 2-2, got blown out by New Orleans, but you look up at the standings and Washington is in first place. Carolina doing a nice job up to 3-1, beat the Giants, hit the bomb of the field goal at the end of the game. Like I said, I was ready to kill the coach for Carolina, Rivera. I don't know what kind of clock management he was doing at the end of the game, running McCaffrey, up the middle with no timeouts left, leaving yourself with a 63-yard field goal, but he got bailed out because they bombed that field goal in there, so give Carolina all sorts of credit. This is another just bizarro game. Impossible to pick either way. If I had to pick the game, I move the line to 7 and take Carolina. Would like to get the hook there and move it to 7.5. Look for a spread that's 1.5 where you can get that teaser to 7.5. Very tough game. Might be a game I'd avoid altogether. Really tough even with the teaser. But if I had to pick it, I go Carolina with 7. I look for the hook at 7.5 somewhere. You might be able to get that extra half point. That's how I pick number 5. Pick number 6. Let's go to the jungle in Cincinnati. With the Cincinnati Bengals a -2.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cincinnati up to 4-1, beat Miami, came back from 17-0 as I just talked about. Bengals doing one heck of a job this year. They're battling, they're gritty. They come back against Indianapolis, they come back against Atlanta, they come back here against Miami. The Bengals finally putting it together. I've been all over Lewis for years. It's amazing he's kept his job, but give him credit. The team has some mojo right now. And here comes the arch enemy where usually things start to fall apart for the Bengals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're up to 2-1, blew out Atlanta. I mean, what an embarrassing performance by Atlanta. We'll get to them later. Bell not back this week, will be back soon. This is a very important division game because if the Bengals ever won this game, they're up to 5-1. Steelers would be down to 2-3-1. They'd be long gone in the division. But if the Steelers won this game, 3-2-1, Bengals 4-2, the Steelers are right back in business. This is a monster game. Again, move the line to 8.5. Take the Steelers in a 2-team teaser. These games are always close. You have to figure this game is take Pittsburgh in a 2-team teaser, pair them up with another team, be on your way. That's the way to play this game. How do you pick this game straight up? You can't. That's pick number 6. Pick number 7. Let's go down to Atlanta. Oh, do I have to go down to Atlanta? Where the Atlanta Falcons are -3.5 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa 2-2, had a bye week. Winston will be the quarterback. The Atlanta Falcons 1-4, got blown out in Pittsburgh, have lost 3 straight, and they have no defense. Their defense stinks. Let me say it again. The defense stinks. The Atlanta coach who came over from Seattle wanted to build the Legion of Boom down there in Atlanta. Hasn't exactly happened. Atlanta's going the other way. Should have won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. Blew that game. Could have beat the Eagles last year. Messed up that game. The Eagles go on to win the Super Bowl. And now Atlanta's going in the wrong direction in a hurry. They're 3 games behind the Saints in the division. And they lost to them at home already. Falcon defense, you smell. Absolutely stink. You're soft. You're weak. You're gutless. And the offense got into the act last week. They couldn't score more than 17 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who give up points to everybody. What an atrocious job by the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, hot Atlanta, your team is weak, it's soft, and I think you know it. I'm taking Tampa Bay, move the line to 9.5. I don't think Atlanta's capable of blowing anybody out. That's how I pick number 7. Atlanta, you're gutless, you're weak, you're soft. Tampa's the pick in the teaser. Pick number 7. Pick number 8. Let's go down to Texas. Houston. With the Houston Texans, a -8 against the Buffalo Bills. Houston's up to 2-3. They've won 2 overtime games in a row. They beat Dallas in a wild one, a hard-hitting affair. Watson banged up. I think he will play this week. Houston's right back in business in that division. I said keep an eye on them. I think Houston's going to be good. They won 2 games in a row in overtime now. I think they're going to start to put some things together. Buffalo 2-3, beat Tennessee. Nice job by Buffalo. Hey, Buffalo's already won more games than I thought they'd win all year. So give them credit for that. Now, they've looked bad in some games. Beat Minnesota on the road, beat them up, and found a way to beat, at the time, a 1-loss Tennessee team. So nice job by Buffalo. Having said that, I'm taking the Texans. I love taking a teaser here. The spread's 8. You move it to 2. I like the Texans all day, -2. Texans roll. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9. Let's go back to Texas. The Big D. Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Jerry's World. With the Jacksonville Jaguars on -3 against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas down to 2-3, lost a tough game to Houston. I know everyone wanted them to go for it, on 4th and short, and everyone wants Garrett fired now, all that stuff. Dallas down to 2-3. Jacksonville down to 3-2, lost to Kansas City. How bad was Blake Bortles in that game? That was the Bortles of old. That was the Bortles we remember from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. That's the Bortles we remember. He was hideously ugly, and it's not Halloween yet. What a an atrocious performance by Bortles. And I watched a lot of this game. I was shocked how bad he was. And remember, the Chiefs don't have a great defense. Well, he made him look great on Sunday. That was an embarrassing performance by Bortles. And where was the big, bad Jacksonville defense? They like to talk a lot. We're big, bad Jacksonville, and we like to push you around. Well, the Chiefs pushed you around. Jacksonville did nothing in that game. Jacksonville looked inferior in that game. The Chief offensive line was superior. Jacksonville, you were soft as well. Not as soft as Atlanta, but you were pretty soft, especially for your standards. I didn't like Jacksonville's performance at all in that game. The running back is still hurt with a hamstring. I'm going to move the line to 9 and take Dallas. I love the home teams, in a teaser, especially getting 9, especially getting the home field. Dallas has been much better at home this year than on the road. Their defense will cause Jacksonville some problems. I think this is going to be a defensive slugfest, just like Dallas-Houston was. I think it's going to be low scoring, like 19-16. I take Dallas in the 9. I take that all day. I get the home field, 9 points. Game could go either way. I take Dallas there. That's pick number 9. Number 10. Let's go down to Music City, Nashville, where the Baltimore Ravens are -3 against the Tennessee Titans. And I'll tell you, there are some tough games on the board this week. Baltimore down to 3-2, lost a tough game to Cleveland. Had a feeling they would have a hangover in that game. I talked about that last week. They did. Tennessee down to 3-2, lost to Buffalo. Not a good loss for Tennessee. And I know Tennessee plays these type of games. They could have been up to 4-1 in this game. They took the lead, and they let Buffalo march down the field for the game-winning field goal and stuff the ball right down their throat with the running game. Tennessee is gritty, they're gutty, they play these type of games very well. This was not a good loss for Tennessee, and that is the second time in 3 weeks Tennessee has not gotten in the end zone. We know their deal, Tennessee. They play these type of games. They would have won that game. They would have been 4-1. Having said that, again, perfect scenario. 2-team teaser, move the line to 9, you get Tennessee, home field, 9 points in a game that could go either way. Tell me a better way to play that game. Tell me. That's the way to play this game. I'll take Tennessee +9. That's pick number 10. Number 11, let's go to London, England. Yes, London, England. We got to get those games in London. We got to get them in Mexico. We got to get them in Canada. We got to play on Thursday night. We got to play on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We got to play every day of the week because we're the NFL and we want every cent we can get. We don't want to pay the old players, though, for their injuries and what they meant to the league. We don't want to deal with them, but we'll take every cent from you now. The greedy NFL strikes again. Let's go to London, England, and let's bring Seattle and Oakland there. Yeah! Seattle all the way in the great Northwest. Let's go to London, England, who's all the way over here. I'm sure Seattle loves making that trip. I'm sure the Raiders love making that trip. Oh, my goodness. Now, listen. The London fans are great. I love the stadium. The fans are great. But I do not understand the NFL's obsession with playing these games in London. I just don't understand it. Is the Premier League obsessed with playing Chelsea, Manchester United here in the United States? Are they? I mean, I don't understand why we are obsessed with playing these games in London. Oh, again, this is a 1 o'clock start here on the East Coast time. Usually these London games start in the morning, but I guess because of the 2 West Coast teams, they make the games a little later, blah, blah, blah. Seattle, -2.5 against Oakland, neutral field. Seattle down to 2-3, lost a tough game to the Rams, could have easily won that game. Oakland down to 1-4, lost to the LA Chargers. 1-4, Oakland is having a rough go. What a tough go for John Gruden. It's just not happening. Bad on defense. Now they can't do anything on offense. They should have never let Matt go. That set a bad vibe to the whole team. Now Gruden's got a whole rebuilding process to do. Listen, I like Gruden. I think he will get it done. Do not like the way this has started for him, though. Raiders have shown me nothing, especially last week. They didn't have any life. But the Raider fans at the StubHub Center don't seem to care because they flash on the crowd and they're down whatever score it was. What was it, 26-10? I forgot the score. They were getting blown out. And they're the Raider fans up there. There they are in their gorilla costumes and they're Darth Vader and they're whooping it up and they're dancing. They have no clue they're even getting blown out. They're just happy to put on their outfits and everything else. So I guess that's what the Raider fans are down to, dressing up in their costumes and hope for the best. But as far as this game, Seattle's shown me more than the Raiders. The Raiders have shown me nothing, like I said. They showed me nothing last week. Seattle at least was in the game. They have Russell Wilson. I think Seattle will find a way to win. Don't love the game. These London games are very tricky, but I think Seattle will eke it out by 3 or 4 points. I'll take the Seahawks there. That's pick number 11. Pick number 12. Let's go to Denver, the Mile High City, where the LA Rams are -7 against the Denver Broncos. Rams up to 5-0, beat Seattle. Tough game, gutsy decision at the end, going for it on 4th and short. Rams offense is awesome. Defense hurting a little bit. They're giving up a lot of points. Have a lot of guys out. Got to keep an eye on that. But the Rams can score at will. Defense will give up some points now with a lot of these injuries. Denver down to 2-3, lost to the Jets. Another gutless team. Denver's now lost 3 in a row. They got up to a 7-0 lead against the Jets, and then they basically checked out of this game. They let the New York Football Jets, who had lost 3 in a row, run right down their throat. Remember the Denver defense that won the Super Bowl not too long ago? Remember the defense that you couldn't move the ball from here to there against? That defense is gone. They gave up over 300 yards rushing to the Jets. Let me say it again. They gave up over 300 yards rushing, not passing, to the New York Jets, and they gave up big plays all over the field. This was an embarrassing performance by Denver. I never like them on the road to begin with, and they were gutless in this game. So Denver's down to 2-3. This is a very strange game. This game reminds me of the Ram game last week. The Rams were -7 at Seattle. Rams are -7 here in Denver. Denver will play better at home, no doubt about it. Remember how they played the Chiefs on Monday Night Football? Could have won that game. They will play better. To me, this is a game and a 2-team teaser that you can win 2 ways. Move the line to 1 and take the Rams to win, because I think the Rams will win. But I also can see Denver plus 13 here at home, keeping it close. Sometimes with these 2-team teasers, and that's why I love them, you can win either way you go. This is a classic case of that. I think it falls right in between. Where you pick the Rams, I think they win. I think they're a little better. Take Denver with 13 at home, you got to feel pretty confident too. So I can go either way there. I think it falls right in between that area. So either way in a teaser, I like this one. Definitely look teaser here in this game. I wouldn't buck the line here at all. Look teaser either way. That's pick number 12. Pick number 13. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Again, not too far from here with the New York Football Jets, who I just talked about, are -2.5 against the Indianapolis Colts. I think the weather will clear up by Sunday here in the Meadowlands. Jets up to 2-3, bomb Denver. Indianapolis down to 1-4, lost to New England. Indianapolis has a lot of guys out. A lot of guys out. If you're telling me to pick this game straight up against the spread, I say the Jets eke it out. Teaser, I'd probably lean Indianapolis plus 8.5. This to me is a throwout. A very tricky game. Don't trust either team right now. To me, I'd probably throw it out. Straight up, I like the Jets. Teaser, 8.5. I like the Colts. I do think the game will be close. That's pick number 13. Pick number 14. Oh, here's a great one. Sunday night. Let's go to Foxborough with the New England Patriots. And they're back. -3.5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Patriots up to 3-2. Beat Indianapolis. They've won 2 in a row. They get their receivers back. They got Gordon back. You know, they're going to get some of these defensive players back soon. So the Patriots, we're going to look up. I'm telling you, they're going to be 11-5 again. They're going to probably win the division. I think they'll catch Miami. Actually, they already did catch Miami. They're both 3-2. New England beat Miami already. So New England is actually in first place already. Didn't take long, right? So New England -3.5 against the Chiefs. How about the Chiefs? 5-0 and just beat up Jacksonville. The Chiefs had no hangover whatsoever from the big Monday night win in Denver. You figure they're going to come home, short week, huge win in Denver. They're going to be hungover. Rookie quarterback, Jacksonville's ferocious defense. No. Didn't happen. As a matter of fact, Denver, who lost the game on Monday night, had more of a hangover than the Chiefs did. That shows you how bad Denver played in New York. Chiefs have been nothing but professional this year. Mahomes threw a couple picks, didn't faze him. Offensive line I thought was awesome. The defense got into the act, turned the ball over 1,000,000 times. The Chiefs and Big Red Andy Reid are doing a fabulous job, a great job. I can't say anything bad against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're doing it all right now. Now, I don't think their defense is all that great, and I don't know if Mahomes can keep this up. He is a rookie. They're doing a great job right now. I moved the line to 9.5, and I think I take the Chiefs. I think their offense is going to be able to score enough points to stay in the game. And I never like betting against New England, and I am not saying New England's not going to win. But 9.5 with the Chiefs, the way they're playing right now, looks very, very good. So I'll take the Chiefs out of respect for what they're doing with the 9.5. That's pick number 14. And pick number 15, this is the Monday night game. This is what I'm talking about with Monday night having the bad package. You see, notice Sunday night's game. New England, Kansas City. Monday night's game, Green Bay, San Francisco. Green Bay at home, minus 9.5 against San Francisco. Green Bay down to 2-1, lost to Detroit as the Green Bay kicker, who was really good at one time, missed 1,000 field goals, an extra point, couldn't get anything through. Remember when he bombed that kick in 2 years ago against Dallas? Now he can't even make an extra point. So Green Bay loses to Detroit. They're down to 2-1. San Francisco down to 1-4, lost to Arizona at home, and they look bad doing it. Turnovers all over the place, sloppy play, running backs getting hurt. San Francisco's ugly right now. They have no chance of walking into Green Bay and winning. I moved the line to down to 3.5 and take them in a teaser. I think Green Bay probably covers the 9.5, but I feel very comfortable at 3.5. And I take Green Bay. I mean, this game could be over at the half. Green Bay coming off a tough loss, a game they were totally frustrated with all the missed kicks against Detroit. And now they got San Francisco with the backup quarterback that can't even beat Arizona at home. Oh, this game could be over at halftime. And then at halftime, you get to see another Susie Colbert introducing another musical act for you. Who was it last week? They were, it's funny. Drew Brees, sets the record, they're talking about it a little bit at halftime, and then all of a sudden, Susie Colbert goes, oh, wait, forget, enough Drew Brees, enough records, enough football, we got to get to Lil Wayne for you. We got to get to Lil Wayne with a little musical act for you. Yeah, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go, yo. Get off Monday Night Football, yo. I don't bluff, though. Oh, yeah, where'd the love go? Out the window, yo. Don't care. You could be a crow or a buffalo. I'd rather listen to them, as you know. Go play in the snow, you little dodo. I mean, what a joke. That's the type of stuff you heard on Monday Night Football from Lil Wayne. I mean, give me a break. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, let's go. Get off Monday Night Football, yo. I don't bluff, though. Yeah, where the love go? I mean, this is what they're putting on Monday Night Football. I mean, give me a break. I mean, what a joke. Forget Drew Brees. Forget the record. Forget football. Let's go to Lil Wayne. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And listen, I know some of these musical acts, they're good and all that. This is football time. This is not a concert. If I wanted to go see Lil Wayne, I'd buy a ticket and I'd go see him at the Garden. I mean, what in the world do I need to see Lil Wayne or, Chico and the Weekos? I have to have a Monday Night Football game. This is going to go on every week all year. It is comical how they ram this stuff down your throat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go, yo. Yeah, I don't bluff, though. Where the love go? Monday Night Football out the window, yo. I mean, what a joke. What a joke. I mean, give me a break. Enough with this already. Anyway, those are your picks. As far as college football this week, light week in college football. College game day is in Michigan, from Michigan, Wisconsin. Both of those teams are out of the top 10. Both have a loss. Georgia LSU lost a lot of luster because LSU lost last week. Notre Dame plays Pitt. I think Washington plays Oregon. They both got a loss. Not a great week in college football. I did say Texas and Florida would pull upsets last week, by the way. You got your Major League Baseball playoffs. You got Dodgers, Milwaukee. You got Red Sox, Astros, which should be a classic series. Do you believe it's already hockey season already? I mean, they've already played 1 or 2 weeks in a hockey season already. Didn't the Capitals just win the Cup? I felt like that just happened. Hockey season, way too long. NBA, I've already had enough of the NBA. It hasn't even started yet. Already had enough of the NBA and it hasn't started. I'm a Laker fan. I don't want LeBron James on the Lakers. He's not a Laker. LeBron James has been on 4 different teams now. He's left Cleveland twice. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. The NBA players want to be on about 4 teams. They all want to be on the same team, in the same city. It's always the same cities all the time. Golden State has been in the finals against Cleveland, what, 4 straight years? What has LeBron been in the finals 6 straight years? You think Golden State's not making the finals just this year? I mean, come on. I mean, them are the Rockets. I mean, you don't even have to watch the NBA this year. I mean, the Golden State added Cousins. Oh, Butler wants out of Minnesota. James and Irving couldn't get along in Cleveland after they won the title. Now they're both on different teams. James on the Lakers. James on the Lakers and the hype they have for this. Oh, it's pathetic. And now you hear how James is taking Ball under his wing. And every day James is taking some other Laker under his wing. You know, first it's Ball, and then it's Kuzma, and then it's this guy, and it's that guy. He's taking them all under his wing. There's a story every day about James taking some. And then the story, the other day was, can James lure a free agent, to L.A.? Now we're going to talk about Kawhi Leonard again. Leonard wanted out of San Antonio, where he won titles. Loved San Antonio. Then he went out of there. Now he's on Toronto. Now they're already talking about him going to Lakers. Butler wants out. This one's going here. Everyone wants to go to Golden State. Durant was on Oklahoma City, who had a good team. He went to Golden State, who had the best record in NBA history. I mean, it's a joke. The NBA has become a joke. It's become unwatchable. You don't even have to watch it. There's no drama. There's no upsets. You know who's going to win before the season starts. Golden State's been in the finals the last 4 years. Cleveland's been in the finals the last 4 years. LeBron's been in the finals the last 6 years. Now he's on the Lakers. The Lakers. He left Cleveland twice to go to the Lakers. Why? Because his son's going to play out there and he has 3 houses out there and he wants to be in movies. I don't want to hear it. I don't have figures. It's the Lakers. I mean, give me a break. It's such a joke. It's an absolute joke. And here's another joke. By the way, so UFC, Khabib beats Conor McGregor. I bet that fight. I told everyone, bet Khabib. Conor McGregor hadn't fought in the UFC in 2 years. I don't count that ridiculous boxing match against Mayweather. That was a gift taken to Khabib. Then the nonsense after the fight. I mean, he acted like a moron. His corner acted like a moron. McGregor, him, he always acts like a moron. So all sorts of nonsense there. But the main point I want to get to is, when did Stephen A. Smith become a UFC expert? Did I miss something? Did Stephen A. Smith, did he become a UFC expert somewhere? I don't remember this. Stephen A. Smith is an NBA guy, right? He hobnobs with the NBA players. He talks to Chris Paul. He's got inside info on LeBron. They jam him down your throat and put him on boxing, which is bad enough with Teddy Atlas. But maybe he knows a little bit about boxing. Maybe. He doesn't know anything about the UFC, but there he is. There he is on ESPN after the fight, talking UFC with the UFC experts. What is Stephen A. Smith doing on ESPN talking about the UFC? When he's talking NBA, do the UFC guys come on and talk NBA with him? Why do they jam Stephen A. Smith? I don't know why they jam certain guys down your throat. They jam Kornheiser down your throat all the time on ESPN. I can't stand him and all his rhetoric, and he was on Monday Night Football, but then again, so was Dennis Miller. Skip Bayless, they jam down your throat all the time, talking about the Cowboys and how Prescott makes all the plays. Last year, he must have talked about Prescott for like 1,000 hours, how he was better than Wentz and the Cowboys were better than the Eagles. Meanwhile, the Eagles won the Super Bowl with the backup quarterback, and the Cowboys were a flop. I mean, it's all he talks about is Prescott, making all the throws, and how about them Cowboys. So he's annoying, Kornheiser's annoying, and then Stephen A. Smith. I can tolerate him barely on the NBA. Barely. The boxing with Teddy Atlas, I guess, can be amusing with those two arguing. He doesn't know anything about the UFC, and you put him up there, and he's talking with the UFC experts, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. He even admits it sometimes. Oh, he'll go on and take his check. He won't turn it down. He'll take his check. But he's on there talking UFC. Stephen A. Smith doesn't know anything about the UFC. And again, do the UFC guys come on when Stephen A. Smith is talking NBA Finals? When Stephen A. Smith is talking NBA Finals with LeBron and Golden State, and he's interviewing Curry and LeBron and Kevin Love, are the UFC guys with him interviewing the NBA guys? The answer is no. So why is Stephen A. Smith an NBA guy on the UFC telecast right after a monster pay-per-view fight? They have nobody else to bring on and talk UFC with. They have to parade Stephen A. Smith out there. That's embarrassing, ESPN. Embarrassing. And you know what? And Stephen A. Smith even admits it on the telecast. He doesn't know anything about the UFC. Now, if I was him, I'd say, listen, I'm not qualified to do this. I'm going to take a pass. I make enough money. I live in my big mansion out there in New Jersey next to Chris Rock or wherever he lives. I don't even know, L.A., wherever. I'm going to take a pass on this. But no, he'll take his check and do it. I mean, but terrible job by ESPN putting him on with the UFC guys. He didn't know anything. He didn't know what he was talking about at all. So anyway, that was the UFC. So there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Thanks as always for the support. Thanks for bearing with me this week. The delay, haven't been feeling good. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. Stay safe if you're in that hurricane area. Thanks as always for the support. I will talk to you guys Tuesday. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. I'll talk to you Tuesday. Take care.